The sky split open above the new Arctic crescent, a shimmering city floating across polar waters. When the first Skari warships appeared, black spires pulsing with energy, casting long shadows over the mirror-like ocean. To the people below, the sight was breathtaking. Thousands gathered in translucent domes to watch the descent, wondering if this was another interstellar festival or a new diplomatic arrival. Then came the message. It echoed across every channel, seizing the air in every language, bypassing filters, translated instantly by the empathy grid. Humans, the Skari Empire has watched your world for centuries. Your peace offends us. Your stagnation disgusts us. You will fight, or you will perish. This is war. For a moment there was silence, then laughter, gentle at first, then infectious, then uncontrollable. People sent the message to friends with sparkle filters. A singer auto-tuned the alien's voice into a track titled, "This is War, but Make It Cute," which charted in 5 minutes. Kids wore Skari masks and reenacted the speech for giggles. The Skari didn't understand. They assumed their translation tech had failed. War was not funny. War was real. They dropped a kinetic lance on the Central Sahara Reserve, vaporizing 20 square kilometers of desert. No humans were harmed, but several rare beetle species were lost. Earth's global response was a sternly worded letter, transmitted via diplomatic AI, expressing regret over ecological destruction and requesting the Skari refrain from further habitat damage. A mourning vigil was held for the beetles, featuring poetry and light displays. Still no retaliation. The Skari were perplexed. They sent ground forces, thousands of warriors, each encased in plated armor, genetically bred for aggression, descended upon Oceania's crystal habitats, expecting resistance. Instead, they found welcome banners. Children ran to greet them, offering sea grapes and coral candies. Hosts gave them tours, explained the local cuisine, offered foot massages to those fatigued from the drop pods. One soldier, injured during descent, was healed within hours by a volunteer biomen collective. The commander detained the human hospitality coordinator, demanding to be taken to the supreme strategist. The woman blinked confused and replied, "There isn't one. We don't have those anymore. Perhaps you'd like a concert?" The Skari commander roared, "You are conquered." The response? "Oh, lovely. Should we plan a welcome parade?" Viral videos followed. A group of alien soldiers joined a water ballet. One was seen trying gelato and visibly tearing up. Comments flooded EarthNet. "He likes mango flavor." "Ah, look at him being emotionally overwhelmed by dairy." The invasion force fractured. Some soldiers began questioning their mission. Others simply stopped listening to orders. Earth's neural empathy field, passive, omnipresent, and impossible to shut down, gently interfaced with alien minds. Not to control, not to manipulate, just to feel. They felt joy. They felt play. They felt the absence of fear. One Skari lieutenant, Vectal, left a video journal, which later became mandatory cultural study material in 3 galaxies. "I expected weapons. We found hugs. I expected torture. I was offered tea. I dreamed for the first time last night. There was music in a sky full of lights, and I didn't want to wake up." Emperor Thalzuk was livid. He authorized deployment of the Dread Engine, a device so feared that even the Skari themselves rarely spoke its name. It targeted cognition, turned empathy to ice, memory to knives. When the engine activated, a pulse raced across the atmosphere. The grid blinked. The planet paused. Then nothing. Humanity did not change. The engine had no effect. Its algorithms met a barrier not of shielding, but of non-aggression. So complete provided no entry point. Rage couldn't attach. Hatred couldn't root. The Dread Engine overloaded. Not Earth's minds, but its own feedback systems. It backfired. On the Skari. Suddenly, their own soldiers began experiencing unfiltered human dreams. Sunsets over the Amazon reefs, the taste of floating tea houses, the sound of collective laughter from a birthday shared across 1,000,000 minds. The effect was irreversible. Battle-hardened veterans froze in awe, clutching their helmets as waves of unfamiliar warmth overwhelmed their neurons. Some wept. Others sang. A Scari dreadnought pilot was found planting roses near her barracks. Stating simply, "They bloomed in my dreams." Whole divisions deserted, walking straight into human cities, laying down their weapons and sitting on park benches. Humans offer them ice cream, pillow forts, and art supplies. Global news celebrated with a day of creativity. Every building painted with glowing murals. Every street filled with impromptu theater. Thalzuk, desperate, ordered full orbital strikes. His own officers locked him out. On the bridge of his flagship, they played Earth music, broadcasting it across the fleet. The war was not merely over. It had collapsed under the weight of its own irrelevance. The Emperor's last attempt at leadership came in the form of a second broadcast, this one sent from his private chamber. His voice trembled, not with rage, but something far older. "What kind of monsters are you? Why don't you fight?" His question was met with a soft reply, sent from a communal preschool in a floating city near what was once Hawaii. A child with bright blue hair, about 6 years old, replied, "Because we like playing more." Thalzuk watched in silence as the girl giggled, her classmates running behind her with foam wings and painted cheeks. He collapsed, crown clattering to the floor. Days later, he arrived on Earth in person. No guards, no entourage. He walked barefoot to the same preschool, where the child greeted him with a handmade bracelet. He did not speak. He sat in a sandbox and stared at the sky. The war was recorded in history, not as a battle, but as a revelation. The Scari did not vanish. They changed, slowly, unevenly, painfully, but permanently. Former captains became architects, building fusion gardens across barren moons. Scari artists emerged, their music blending ancestral screams with Earth's harmonic synths. Their children grew up knowing both blood and blossom. They no longer bred for war. They bred for wonder. Earth accepted their integration without ceremony. They were simply people now. Different limbs, different sounds, but hearts, yes, hearts. Open. Peace, once thought fragile, proved indestructible. Not because of force, but because it infected every attempt to destroy it. Laughter was a weapon, if one insisted on calling it that, but not one that harmed, one that disarmed. Entire empires watched. Some feared, some envied, others arrived with gifts and questions, hoping to understand what humans had become, what they had remembered, how they had unlearned fear. Earth didn't lead. It invited. It hosted concerts between galaxies, shared cuisine without patent, released blueprints for zero-violence defense systems, shields that only protected, never retaliated. One planet at a time, the stars grew quieter, not with suppression, but with calm, not with silence, but with song. 1,000 years of peace had been seen as weakness, but now everyone knew it had been strength all along.